Okay, this is Emily from the Etsy store is Yesterday's Stash, and I've got a book here that I have recently put together, kind of a woodland theme. It has lots of greenery to it, plus it has pages where you can do your own. It's really thick pages, or you could use the pages for writing yourself notes. So this is a book that I put together that is about 50 pages. When you multiply them out, it's at least 100 pages front and back. It's got about 10 charms in it, like this one is the Tree of Life. It's got 25 or more loose tags, and it also has 27 of the pages, and this is not in front and back, would make it over 50 pages. Most of the time, the pages that you would want to use, for instance, let's just say you started collecting four-leaf clovers and you wanted to put them all here, then gluing them or doing some work on them, the pages are thick enough that it wouldn't go through, so you could use the other side. This is a different kind of paper here that I would only use one side, unless you used a certain kind of ink pen that wouldn't bleed through. So I've been making these books for about over 10 years, 12 to 15 years. And what I have found the most helpful is looking at the folks who have been doing this either before me or have learned how to do certain fundamentals of how to put together one of these books. And I have just learned so much from fellow Etsy junk journal makers. So what I have learned to really enjoy the most about making these books is the texture, having more than one layer or more than one texture on the pages that I put together, and also to have a variety of different layouts of the, and I've learned most of these from Etsy sellers. I also use kits, digital kits that other Etsy sellers have downloaded or have put together and sell on their stores. I use quite a bit of that because I don't know how to do that. Make those pages, canvas or whatever it is that they use. So let's just get started with the book. To start out with, this is the way that the book is put together. It's got fabric on the front and back, and then it has sort of a naugahyde as a spine, and then I put together a spine that has decorations using the same color scheme as the colors in this. And then put together, I may have a big pocket, and my favorite tree is the aspen tree, and so I used aspen trees where I can, but I definitely wanted to use it on the front. Many of my tags are handmade tags, or tags that I put together myself, because I just really love doing that as well. And then the book has 3 signatures, and the thickness of the signatures depending on where it's placed in the book, and the number of pages being, if I went too thick on the 3D effect, and I had to lessen the pages of the book to make it fit, because my main goal is to have a book that will not plop open. I will put a green ribbon around this to hold it together, but I don't like for my books to flip up too much. This one actually does flip up a bit more than I would like, but that's why my books are the spine is thicker than you would find most. This is almost 3 inches thick. This is 8.5 by 6, and that's how it. And then that's how I usually put together my books. So they usually have 3, but sometimes I can put 4. I also used a lot of the themes, or as a part of the theme of trees and greenery and woods, is sayings that other people say about tree. The trees will tell our secrets to those that tune in. And it just imagines you going on a walk through the woods, and you're just listening to the trees blow in the wind, or you're listening to your feet as they slosh through the leaves, or you're looking at the different greenery that's on either side of you. Maybe you see a squirrel or somebody or birds, and it just gives you this really placid, good feeling. And it's a relaxer. It helps to relax us. So I also used quite a few photo papers. So if you see some that are shiny, that's because I printed them on photo paper that's shiny on one side. Lots of pictures of trees. One-sided tags that you can write on the back. This is bicycle ads, because a lot of people want to go through the woods on a bike trip. And then I've tried to put some a border on this side to give the paper to give the page a little bit of character. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. Here's some of the pages that I have found out of magazines that I put the 2 together. And here's a picture of some deer in a forest. This is actually a foamy kind of grass that you can get if you're making like a diorama, or diorama, however you pronounce it. I do like to make these little notebook kinds of things that you can take and go with you. So I have that. Pages that open, that have some information about trees in them. And then this is where I took and pleated some of the batik fabric that I have. The fabric on this is actually a type of batik. And then I found lots of different pictures that were not from magazines, that had just different pictures of wooded themes and woodland themes. And so I used my glitter pens to do some highlighting on some of them. This is a big tag that came from pieces of stationery. The stationery company was called Oddballs, and it's out of Arkansas. So I added a little place for writing on it and stuck it in here. This is the middle of the first signature, and I put leaves on the signatures. This is actually bark that came off of a tree in my front yard, and what I did was I washed them really good, and then when they dry, or almost dry, I pressed them flat so that they would work. I've got this under acetate to protect the pages. Here's another picture of trees and interesting forests, or paintings, or landscapes. They're just really pretty, and in looking through this, you can kind of imagine that you're in the same space as the pictures are that are on the inside, and you can imagine you're actually outside. This one says, "Life is too short to spend it at war with yourself." Being easy on ourselves. This is a charm and a music clef paper clip that you could take off and use. And this is a pocket. It's in here that has some real thick cardstock that you can use for doing some tags on your own if you want to. And this, I cut out a piece of wallpaper, which is kind of like a greenish well, anyway, I can't say the word, but it's a green wallpaper pattern that's 3D, and I added this picture to it. Some of the pages are actually ink dyed, and some of them are just left plain so that you can do what you want with the page. Picture of a squirrel. I love this paper pattern that I got from an Etsy seller, and I'll have that information in the description box below. 4-leaf clover and pictures of leaves that can be used on the back for note taking. More of this. It's on the inside, and then a picture of a bridge on the outside. Tried to use different types of paper. This is a hand-dyed paper here. This is a page that's particularly set aside for you to write notes on, because it's has lines on it, and I have included a writing board which you put on this side, and you can write and not have the texture from the other pages to get in the way. Another pocket. I tried to have as many pockets as I could put in with the different pages, so that it wouldn't completely hide the texture and the color of the pages, but also would give it something for you to store things in, which you can take all of these little storage things out and use them for something else and put your own in. This is Notepad for writing your notes in or taking out and using for something else. This is moss, the interest in moss. This is a whole side of moss that is in Nantahala National Forest. And then right here we have 3 more pages. This is a picture of a house with a bridge going over it that has a lot of greenery or trees behind it. A bear. These are 2 postcards that can be used for sending that have, this one is from Yellowstone, and this is from Wyoming. This is of that same pattern, of which I just loved the green. Some of the green's a little bit darker, and then some of it is more of an olive, which it's able to use both of those colors because trees have those colors in them as well. Picture of a deer, another set of charms. The other picture of the house, the side picture with a little creek going through it. Another picture of a house with plants around it. And then this says, every forest branch moves differently in the breeze, but as they sway, they connect to the roots. And then this is where I took another piece of that bark and put it down and made it as a little stick-on tag for the book. Just beautiful pages. It's just a very you can put yourself in the place of where these beautiful pictures come from. Another more picture. This is a coffee dyed paper here. Another page specifically earmarked for you to write in. The back side is the same. Pine trees that I have done a glitter on. This is actually a crocheted, or not crocheted, embroidered that I cut out around and put on here. Mushrooms. This looks like bark on a tree. A certain darkness is needed to see the stars. really, really nice pages that came out from some of those Etsy seller digital kits. This is 2 birds, another bird, and this is a picture of the outside of windows and window frames. And then this is advice from a wolf. And this is the third and final signature, middle of that signature. Took a piece of embroidered fabric and cut it out and folded it over and made it into a pocket. Just so many things you can do with these books to make them interesting and fun to work on, and you know, make them great. I just take a great pleasure in making these books and coming up with the different ideas for how you can use the books for different things. I would consider this a look book, possibly an art book because it has art in it, memory book for you to put your own memories in, or memory that some of these would remind you of memories when you were growing up as a child, and when you walked through or played through the books or the trees in the back of your house. This is one of those rub-ons, and I put it on a muslin. So just like to add a lot of different textures to the book. And this says handmade. So thank you for coming along and watching me as I went through this book. It's called Woodlands. And thank you for coming along, and we'll talk again soon.